When you think desert, what comes to mind? Probably vast, empty sand dunes, right? Well, get ready to have that image completely shattered. Today, we're diving into the Great Indian Desert, also known as the Thar. It's a place of insane heat, but it's also, paradoxically, just teeming with life. So the big question is, how is that even possible? Let's figure it out.
All right, to really get into this, we have to start with a story. An ancient Hindu myth gives this place a pretty dramatic origin story. It's about the god Rama, who had this incredibly powerful, divine, fiery arrow. And instead of aiming it at the ocean, he pointed it right here. The legend goes that the sheer heat from that arrow just scorched the earth, creating the very desert landscape we're talking about today.
So you have this legend of a land scorched by the gods, but the modern reality? Well, that presents an even more fascinating puzzle. Forget everything you think you know about deserts, because the Thar is the complete opposite of empty.
Okay, get this. The population density here is over 80 people per square kilometer. Now, to put that in perspective, that's almost as packed as some rural parts of Europe, but we're talking about a desert. It's just an absolutely extraordinary feat of human adaptation.
And this is where that paradox really hits home. You look at the Sahara, right? It supports maybe one person per square kilometer. Compare that to the Thar's 80. The difference is just staggering. So you have to ask, what is the secret here? How on earth does this place thrive when so many other deserts are basically empty?
So to really understand how they do it, we first have to get a real sense of the immense challenges people here face. And every single day. Life here is a constant battle against the elements.
First up, the heat. And it is staggering, relentless heat. In the summer, we're talking temperatures that regularly shoot past 45 degrees Celsius and can even top 50. That's over 122 Fahrenheit? Seriously, that's hot enough to make just about any physical work not just difficult, but genuinely dangerous. All right, now for the second major challenge, and it's a big one, a critical lack of water. The desert gets just 100 to 300 millimeters of rain a year. And get this, almost all of it comes down in one short, intense monsoon season. For comparison, a city like London gets about double that, but it's spread out over the whole year. Here, every single drop is precious.
So, you've got this intense heat and this bone-dry climate. How in the world do you build an economy? Well, the answer, surprisingly enough, starts by looking down. Yep, right under the sand.
You see, the desert floor holds a surprising amount of wealth. It's packed with minerals like gypsum, which is crucial for things like plaster, but it also helps make the sandy soil better for farming. And then you've got these huge deposits of limestone and marble, which fuel a whole construction industry, building the very homes and cities people are living in.
And believe me, the resources do not stop there. The discovery of massive coal reserves, especially over in the Pakistani part of the Thar, was a total game changer. These huge mining projects didn't just create jobs, they literally built new model villages from scratch, bringing in modern stuff like schools and hospitals to places that had never seen them before.
But look, it's not just about what you can dig out of the ground. Surviving and really succeeding here also means figuring out how to harness the very elements that make this place so harsh to begin with. We're talking about the sun and that super scarce water.
And this is a truly monumental feat of engineering. The Indira Gandhi Canal is basically a man-made river. It's like this concrete artery that stretches for hundreds of kilometers, carrying water from faraway rivers deep into these dry lands. This one project, just this one, has transformed barren, sun-baked earth into fertile farmland. It's made new towns possible in places you would have thought were completely uninhabitable. And that relentless sun we talked about? Well, human ingenuity has flipped the script and turned that challenge into a huge asset. The clear skies and that intense sunlight make the Thar the perfect spot for massive solar power projects. And these things are now generating clean electricity, powering up remote communities that were, completely off the grid before. So it's not just resources and tech. The unique culture and the just breathtaking landscape have become another huge part of the economy. Tourists come from all over the world to places like Jaisalmer, the Golden City, for that once-in-a-lifetime experience, right? Camel rides into the dunes, exploring these ancient forts, just soaking up the local vibe, and all of that creates this incredible cascade of economic activity. And here's the really cool part about how that works. It's something called the multiplier effect. A single dollar from a tourist doesn't just stop with, say, the person they paid for the camel ride. No way. That money flows through the entire local economy. The guide uses it to buy food from a local farmer, who then spends it at the local shop, and on and on.
It strengthens the whole community and creates this sustainable cycle of income.
So, when you start to piece all of this together, the riches pulled from the earth, the incredible tech that brings in water and power, and then branching out into a global tourist destination, a really clear picture emerges. You can see exactly how this desert community has built up such remarkable resilience. So, it turns out the secret to the Thar's big paradox isn't just one thing. It's this amazing combination of everything we've talked about: pulling value from under the ground, cleverly engineering the flow of water, turning that harsh sun into power, and of course, sharing its unique culture with the world. That's the recipe. That's how a huge population can not only survive here, but actually thrive against all the odds.
And all of this leaves us with one final and really crucial question. This amazing mix of strategies is working now, but the pressures from climate change and a growing population, they're very real. So can this delicate balance between ancient tradition and modern tech continue to sustain life in the Great Indian Desert for generations to come? That's a pretty powerful thought to leave you with.